You can simply step outside and stare at the sun for 2 minutes and blind yourself permanently. My brother has schizophrenia and used to do this because he thought it stopped people hearing his thoughts. He's not blind, but his eyesight isn't fantastic after staring at the sun nearly every day for 3 months. Where intrusive thoughts and shower thoughts collide. It's quick, it's easy, and it's free. My time staring at the sun as a kid says this is a lie. Doesn't work at night, though. Don't let intrusive thoughts win. Guys, that's just a myth. Edit. Hey, quick update, it's real, don't do it, I am now blind. I've been manic before and thought staring at the sun would give me powers. Stared around 5 minutes. Admittedly, it burned my retinae. I had a purple spot for a day. However, my vision recovered. Not saying it's impossible to go blind, but I didn't. Moral of the story: don't be afraid to watch a sunset or a sunrise. You can do it way faster with a knife and 2/5 of vodka. I always found it so crazy. You can look anywhere in the sky and take in the beautiful view, but don't look at this one spot. It is evil, and if you look there you will never be able to take in any view ever again. It almost seemed dystopian to me, like something out of a dream. This is such a cursed post. Not necessarily. This is a story from a former optometrist I worked for. Someone had taken too many drugs and decided to lay out on the grass looking at the sun in Florida of all places. He went blind from burning his retinas. But after some weeks of healing, his vision returned without any real lasting damage. Better yet, I can stare at your mother for a minute and blind myself in half the time. GIF Giphy XTG8B9AULO7SHLPMU. You can blind yourself in 2 seconds with a pencil. This has pour river water in your socks energy. My 5-year-old self disagrees. About once a month my curiosity gets the best of me and I just have to take a quick look. Got some eclipse viewing glasses so now I can take a peek whenever I want. One of my favorite things to do, TBH. Staring directly into the sun makes me feel at home. That's not a shower thought, that's an intrusive thought. It is faster with a fork. BRB gonna try SMTH real quick. Staring at the sun for 2 minutes will not blind you permanently, in my non-medical professional opinion. I honestly think this is why I wear glasses. I remember in grade school I was obsessed with staring at the sun. God, I was so stupid then. But then you can't play video games. I used to stare at the sun with sunglasses on to see what I was missing, too many photons for young eyes. GIF Giphy L0HLIP5KS0US17W. So is the light of the one true God soul. I'm positive I did longer than 2 minutes as a kid. All good. Yeah, but don't. Maybe we should open Reddit back up. You can also take a knife and stab your eyes. What's your point? While we're at it, you can also jump off a cliff to break some bones. Chuck Norris once stared at the sun. After 2 minutes the sun went blind. Didn't Mary do that in Little House? Blamed it on scarlet fever? Now I done it for much longer and my vision's fine. I see the intrusive thoughts are winning. I stared at the sun all the time as a kid, and I'm not blind. I do need really strong glasses, though. 7. It's funny but also true, most likely nothing to do with the sun, though. I can't stare at the sun anymore, though, my eyes are way more light sensitive now. Slow, I can do it in about 10 seconds with a bottle of bleach. Joke's on you. I live in Seattle. Bullshit. I stared at the sun for 20 minutes a day walking to school every day for a year and I still have 20/20 vision. It's hard to comprehend just how truly bright sunlight is. Like, the lights used in surgery rooms are as bright as 100 sunlight outside is regularly 100,000 lux. It's just so hard to wrap the mind around the idea that the sun is fully illuminating half of an entire planet from a million miles away. This thread isn't good for my intrusive thought-oriented brain. Facepalm light skin tone emoji modifier ##. It is one of the things I can't do at 3 a.m. This won't blind you. It's not good to repeatedly do this, but I've done this as a child and my eyesight is just fine. This isn't a shower thoughts. This is our intrusive thoughts. You guys can keep your eyes open at any time during sunny days? My photosensitivity says no to that. Especially in snowy winter. There was a Hungarian poet who did this during an eclipse. Lost his sight for 2 weeks. Then he wrote an angry poem to the sun. Laughs in living in England. I used to be a dumb kid, so I can tell you that this is not correct. Life pro tip: don't do it. I stared at the sun every day as a child. If you look at it long enough, it stops being bright and there's like this crescent that moves depending on how you look at it. My eyesight is fine, so IDK LOL. Sure, I can walk into my kitchen, stab myself, and die if I want. But I'm not gonna. That said, it is crazy that our entire existence is hugely dependent on a giant ball of fire in the sky, that just floats there and can't really be looked at. This whole thing makes no sense if you really think about it. 15k people upvoted this. How have we not evolved to have eyes that can't be destroyed by something that's literally available to look at for at least half of every day? The sun hasn't gotten any brighter since the dawn of man. It seems weird that nature would leave such a huge vulnerability open, and not develop some random mutation at some point that created sun-resistant eye tissue that became genetically dominant. You can do it faster with a pen. 2 minutes. I grew up getting snow-blinded for hours. Amateurs. 2 minutes. With the right kind of magnifying glass, you could concentrate the sun's rays and blind yourself in less than 20 seconds. You can also run into traffic with a blindfold and get hit by a car. This one is about as deep as my shower. How TF does this have even this many upvotes? All of you, go sit in the corner and look sad. Don't give any ideas. There's a thing now of being transabled. People purposely disabling themselves to identify as a disabled person. Or that stupid chick that threw bleach in her own eyes because she identified as blind. Wow, we have had some shitty shower thoughts lately. I'm positive I did longer than 2 minutes as a kid. All good. Found Trump's burner account. Thought this was our shitty superpowers for a second. You could jump into a lake and drown yourself to death. That's not a shower thought. WJT 2 km. VR8887X2L2J23. Hasby ZJSJJSX, JSJJSJZJZJZ's Cowler. Wouldn't work for me. I'd have to stare at a big fire while being very close or something. Come to say goodbye are June 30th. Yes, I suppose you can do that. Let us know how it goes. You could also simply stab yourself in the eyes. Quicker. Not true, did this as a kid, can still see. As someone who would stare at the sun a ton as a kid. Nope. When I was little I used to do that a lot, just look at the sun for a long while. Yes, I wear glasses, don't know if it's related because at the time I didn't though it was doing any harm, but my vision is the same from decades ago. Not with the sun a blood red from all the wildfire smoke LOL. It's too dim to blind skull. I think I may have damaged my eyes as a kid by staring directly at the sun. I know what we're doing today, Ferb. It's night where I live. We'll test out your hypothesis when the sun comes up.